What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. As we continue on with our Indie Comics weekend, we are jumping into King Spawn, issue number 5. Right now, we have Spawn, who is hunting down a very cultish organization, one that is using children to try and get his attention, and they have successfully done so, trying to get to the source, trying to find out who the leadership is, what is the point of all of this, and where is it leading. To get these answers, he has to go back to the place that he died. Now, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, make sure you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up in Botswana. We are picking up many years ago when Al Simmons was on his last mission. The mission where he died. His job was to find the head of an army using children as soldiers. Find that leadership and execute them, seemingly being a cut and dry mission. At least this is how civilians look at the battlefield, that it is a battle between good and evil. But Simmons has been doing this for such a very long time. Being a soldier, he understands that this isn't simple as right and wrong. It is always convoluted, it is always complicated, and it always ends up with more dead bodies than originally planned. The specific warlord that he is trying to hunt down, using the natural resources, which is diamonds here, trying to trade this for political power, reaching the house that he is supposed to find the guy inside of. There are no guards and the door is wide open, which means this is more than likely a trap. Regardless, he is ready to spring it. Coming in with his weapon drawn, he lets him know to turn around and asks who he is messaging. This is when he lets him know, a guy by the name of Wynn. General Wynn is the commanding officer for Al Simmons. And Simmons is learning that the general, he has been funding them in their endeavor, trading diamonds for guns. Noticing that this kid has a mutilated arm, tied up on the stump, it says Palms 137. This is the first time that Al Simmons had ever seen that. And this is where it all began. This kid says that he loves America, that he gives the diamonds to American soldiers. They trade it for guns. And anybody who fights in our battles, they are all volunteers. This guy was fully believing that Al Simmons was sent by the general to aid and assist in them. He was nothing more than a pawn in this game. Throwing down his rifle, he lets the kid know, take this gun and shoot anybody that looks like me that comes here. This is when he recognized it's all a game. It is all for sport. It is all for money. It is all for power. And after everything he has been through, every mission, every turmoil, every trauma, he has finally reached a breaking point. He is done. He is hanging up his guns and he is going back home. Or at least, so he thought. Because before he had the opportunity to leave, this is when he got sniped. A bullet directly through the head. This is the moment, the exact moment that Al Simmons became Spawn. But he has no memory of who shot him or why. And we see that it was Priest who was the one that shot him, and she begins to burn his body. Now, in current time, the sigil has been whispering Wanda's name, but it's also mixed together with other names, such as God, Jessica, and the Disruptor. Not fully grasping what the sigil wants from him, he does know that it wants him and Terry to go back to the place where he died. This sigil is trying to unlock his past, to bring those ghosts out, unlocking the days when he first became Spawn. The question is, why? Picking up with Spawn and Terry, Spawn gets his guns and he heads out. He knows exactly where he is going because all those years ago, this is something that he cannot forget. He is doing this because he wants to find out what this organization has anything to do with opening up the dead zones. How do they benefit from him letting it open again? They believe that General Wynn has died, but he was the only connection to this place. Getting up to into that old hut yet again. He sees that the doors are wide open. There are no guards. He was the target then, and he is the target now. The only difference, he is fully aware this time. As he enters inside the hut, it says the king returned, trying to get in communication with Terry. This is when he takes a giant blast from the back. Whoever this is, they knew that he would return back to where all of it began, that he couldn't resist. The sigil had given him an order, and like a good soldier, he obeyed, not fully comprehending or understanding any of it going on, but also letting Spawn know that all of this can end if you simply will take the crown and open the doors so the servants can come through, that no one is going to get what they want until he does so. Also revealing to Spawn that the sigil is controlling all of this. The bigger question, who is controlling the sigil? And if Spawn wants that answer, he has to open up the dead zones, to open them up and see who walks through. The one that thinks they are worthy enough to sit upon the empty throne. And so Spawn battles this mysterious individual, but the fight is not going well for him, as Spawn's arm is dang near falling off. He gets up with all of his rage, with all of his anger. Throwing his chains, he knocks off the mask of this guy. And this is when it is revealed that it is General Wynn. Jason Wynn, the man who started it all. Started it back then, and he is starting it now. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This was definitely a fun throwback to not necessarily the origin of Spawn, but kind of the origin of Spawn. Getting a more graphic, a more detailed look of exactly what happened and how all of this connects to that singular day, to that kid with palms 137 on his stump. How it all connects back to General Wynn. After all of these years, believing that this was all in his past, Spawn is having to relive some of the worst times, worst moments in his entire life. And they are doing this all so that he will just simply sit on the throne. That if he sits on the throne and he opens up the doorways to both heaven and hell, everyone will be happy. Everybody will get what they want. And we see this even transpiring in Gunslinger Spawn. Everybody is out to get Spawn. They want to take him down or put him on the throne. The premonitions being told, the possible future that will very likely come if Spawn does not take the throne. He may fight this all he wants, but it seems it is only a matter of time before he opens up those dead zones and he finds out who is truly trying to come for him. Now, let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything going on with King Spawn, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with Spawn. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the super thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you don't miss any of the awesome content we have coming out. Make sure you like this video, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.